today I wanted to come on and just have a little chat with you. I'm getting tons and tons of questions. What should I be stocking? What do you stock? How do I get started? And so I wanted to kind of address this because I feel like we're in a little bit of a new normal, kind of heading towards whatever's going to be our new normal. I have always, and you guys, if you've watched me for any length of time, you know I've always stocked up. I've always prepped ahead for the whatever may come, whether it's I just need to prep for the year or I just need to prep for, a natural disaster. But I've always prepped, I think, reasonably. There was one point that I had bought stuff I was never going to use, and I had to rethink that. But that was because I had a moment of panic. So first advice I'm going to say, don't store anything you're not going to use. If your family doesn't like tomato products, don't can tomatoes. Don't can tomato juice. Don't can tomato soup. And don't can Bloody Mary mix. Anyway, if you don't care for beans canned, or beans period, don't stock beans. So, okay, and I know a lot of us out there are giving this advice right now, but I'm gonna kind of give you a rundown of what I think, and I wrote a little bit of a cheat sheet, but I'm adding to it. What I think is really important to have on hand, and a year's supply of it, or at least if you can't, or you don't have storage space, or you can't do a year's supply for your family, at least try for 3 months, because look what happened with COVID. How long did that last? I mean, there were people out of jobs and trying to get unemployment. Some people couldn't get unemployment. If they would have had a food bank in their own house already set up, at least they wouldn't have to worry about that. And so that's why I've always done it, and not for any other reason than I was raised to, garden and put up all your fruits and vegetables and meats for the year when it's in season, and then you don't worry about it the rest of the year. I mean, I can remember a handful of times even going to the grocery store as a kid, because you didn't. You went to where your canned goods were already home canned, and you said, oh, we need some beans for dinner tonight. Oh, we need some beef for dinner tonight. So, and that I think that we should kind of gravitate a little bit back to that. I know there's a lot of you that are coming into the mindset of learning how to can and all that, and I think that's super exciting. I'm so encouraging I want to encourage all of you to do that. Before I get off track too far, okay, my number one thing that I've got on my list, and it's probably not number one for me because I don't eat a lot of carbs, but if I was feeding a crowd and trying to ration out maybe canned meat and stuff, I'm gonna add pasta and I'm gonna add bread to the mix. And so I need to have flour, and to go with that, I need yeast. You can buy a yeast in bulk and keep it in your freezer. It keeps indefinitely. I've already got enough for probably the rest of my life in the freezer. I try to stock at least 40 pounds of flour. I think I've got 20. I've got 30. No, I've got 40. I've got 40 pounds of flour. So I know I have enough to, if something happened and we were all on lockdown again and couldn't get to the store or couldn't get fresh items, I have enough to bake bread. I have enough to make pasta, all that stuff. Man, or just share, hey, I need 10 pounds of flour. Here you go, I have a bag. And I left mine in the bags. I buy the organic stuff. I left it in the bags, and it's in the Gama seal container. Some of you asked, do you use an oxygen absorber in there? Nope, they're airtight. It doesn't need it. Sugar. You need sugar. You're gonna make jams, you're gonna make desserts, you're gonna make all kinds of stuff. Sugar and it doesn't go bad. It doesn't have a shelf life. It's endless. So buy sugar, okay? It's cheap. Buy it. So then you've got stuff for the holidays. We don't know what's coming during this holiday season. Right now, we're in kind of a new, the waters could be a little rough. You never know. So sugar, because we're gonna need some. And oats, and I get the organic oats. I would definitely recommend getting that. That way you have stuff for breakfast, for cookies, for all that good stuff. If you can make or get some extracts to have on hand, that's really helpful too. Not a necessity, but helpful. As well as molasses, so you can make your own brown sugar. I'm gonna say too, I think rice is a necessity. It's a good filler. It lasts forever. I buy jasmine rice in the 25-pound bags, and you'd be surprised how fast you go through it. White rice will last, 25 years if it's sealed up properly, but I rotate through probably 25 pounds a year. I have an extra just so, again, if I need to help a neighbor or my daughter and her family. So let's see. Potatoes. Now, I don't store a lot of potatoes. I do have some Thrive potatoes. I love these. I always have a couple, and these come in a case of 8. I always have these. These are hash browns. They're just dehydrated potatoes, and you add water and you make a really nice, it equates to a pound of hash brown potatoes, and they come out perfect every time. They're great to put on top of a shepherd's pie if you don't happen to have fresh potatoes to make mashed potatoes. I do store some Thrive instant mashed potatoes as well, and I did get my Thrive order, so I'm going to unbox this for you. I don't want to forget, you need vinegar. Vinegar is a must. You need vinegar for cleaning, for preserving, for your canning, to keep your jars nice and clear. You need to have a few gallons of vinegar on hand. Minimum of 2, right? And then spices. I always buy bulk spices, oregano, hot pepper flakes, pepper, salt, bouillon. Keep some extra bouillon. You're gonna need flavor if you've got to make rice and beans. Did I say beans? You need beans. Some dry beans and some, I can beans, but you can buy canned beans. I typically don't store as many dry beans only because I know that they become harder the longer they sit. So I don't do 50 pounds of dry beans and then try to think I'm going to go through that, because I'm not. Once they're pressure canned, they will become soft, but it's going to take a while on the stove. The older the bean gets, the harder it is to get it soft. Thrive seasoning blend. I wanted to touch on that. If this isn't opened, it lasts 25 years. So this is a good one to have a few of these stocked up. You don't even need salt with this. It's full of flavor. Garlic and onions and peppers and all that, and a little bit of salt. Done. Okay. So now, and I do have a few canned products, from the grocery store. Like I'll store peppers. I'll store tuna fish, even though I can my own tuna fish now. Tuna fish, salmon, sometimes some extra, mushrooms. If I can't get a hold of a good buy, I'll store canned mushrooms. The stuff that you're going to need for a basic recipe, anything you know that you'll use, store it, okay? On Thrive, I absolutely, and you guys know I love this. My link is going to be down below. You don't feel obligated for any of this. I'm just trying to give you some helpful information because I'm getting a lot of questions. I'm getting a lot of people that are like, I don't know where to start. I'll just start. $5 extra this week at the grocery store. Can buy 5 tins of tuna, and put those back. So those are for extra. They're not for this week. So this month's grocery delivery for me is red bell peppers. I use a ton of them. And I bought two of the number 10 can red bell peppers, 2 of the celery, and it's, Thrive's adding new stuff all the time, so you're gonna get You know, one day you're gonna have celery available and maybe it won't be available later that month. So you just come back to it, leave it in your favorites and check. So 2 number 10 cans of celery, 2 of the red bell peppers. I'm just gonna put that right there. And then I ordered some Granny Smith apples. These are great for snacks. The other thing I love these for is for when you have a plain salad and you go, gosh, I really need something zippy. You break these up and use them as croutons. They're delicious on a salad. Asparagus, I love that, and more apples. But the asparagus makes the best cream of asparagus soup on the fly, or just as a side dish. I have a quick and easy side dish, no problem. So that was my monthly delivery. And that's all long-term food storage. But I have a whole cabinet full that I use on a daily basis. It's rare that I don't use something. This morning, I did an omelet, and I was gonna do it for you guys, but it was really early. It was like 5:30. I wasn't camera ready, how about that? I did a sausage, red and green bell pepper omelet with a little bit of mozzarella cheese. It was delicious. And of course I used a little bit of hot sauce. So I will say I would also store some condiments, some hot sauce, mustard, things that have a long shelf life. That is always going to be a great go-to when your pantry starts emptying. If something happens, let's say you lost your job and your pantry is shrinking down and you don't have funds to go, or you can't get to the store, or when you get there, the shelves are not quite as full, I'm going to encourage you to stock up on some of these things while you can, because the shelves are actually starting to look a little bare again. So I kind of covered a lot of what I wanted to, except I will encourage you to store up some canned milk or some dried milk, instant milk, from Thrive or another company. I'm not saying you have to just use Thrive. If you want to go with a different company, you can. And then skill sets, learn how to can your own home canned stuff and grow your own food. That would be the most valuable thing you can do for your family. So these winter squash will last for months. I've cured them outside. I have back here on the counter acorn squash, pumpkins, and these are the delicata squash. And you can grow those in a pretty small space and let them grow all season long and let them ramble on a hillside if you want. And then harvest them up and store them in your garage, in a in a cold storage, in a basement. Doesn't matter, or right here on your countertop, which that's where mine sit for decoration. And actually used one of these for my centerpiece, or 2 of them. I put them in my vase with popcorn and Indian corn. So guys, I hope this encourages you to, I hope you step outside the box, get some bulk spices, some items that you know are going to keep for a very long time, and only pick things that you're going to eat. If you don't like asparagus, don't buy asparagus. If you don't like squash, don't grow squash to store, okay? And if you have any questions or comments, tell me what you think I missed in this video, what you would add to that list of things. Leave that in the comment section for everybody to see. I promise you I'm going to try to answer each and every comment. I appreciate all your support, and I love that we're interacting back and forth. And now I've got this feedback that I needed to talk to you about. My next video on this kind of topic is going to be on something a little bit different, but I don't want to make this one extremely long. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next time for another little bit of a pantry chat. And so you tell me what you would add to the list down in the comments. And as always, guys, I'm so glad you came over for another little chit chat with me. And I'll see you next time. Another delicious recipe. Possibly a fall tour if we can ever get the lights to come down a little bit. I want to take you on my little tour. It's not much, but it makes me happy. All right.